Hey guys, it's Coach Beasley with Fight Camp Conditioning. Today we're going to talk about what we can learn from gymnastics training. So when it comes to bodyweight training, I think gymnasts are about at the top of the food chain, right? We've all seen GSP, doing his thing, and a bunch of other guys maybe doing handstands and push-ups and different things on the rings. But I think gymnasts, there's a lot to be learned there, right? They have a lot of different good progressions, from tumbling to rolling to controlling their body weight and controlling their body in space. For a lot of people, just getting used to moving and controlling their own body before you add other, external resistance is very, very important. So I think it's a great place to gather information. Now, we might not be doing, back handsprings and doing muscle ups on the rings or iron crosses and that kind of crazy stuff, but I think there's a lot to be learned there. So I think learning, maybe some of their introductory progressions, so people can do, maybe a handstand's a great vertical push. It's a nice isometric hold. I've had a lot of guys that had shoulder issues, but I put them up into a handstand or some kind of regression or progression there, and they have no issue, right? And it actually helps stabilize that shoulder. Crawling patterns, interacting with the ground, jumping, rolling, tumbling, all that type of stuff is just really, really good general preparation for a lot of people to know. So I'm not saying that you need to go out and start competing in gymnastics and launching off the vault, but I think, again, we can pull a lot of information from a lot of different places outside the weight room, and I think gymnastics is a great place to start. So guys, let me walk you through one of my favorite progressions, give you a little example of what I'm talking about here. We're going to do a handstand progression that I've used with a bunch of guys over the years. A lot of people might just jump up into a handstand and or do handstand push-ups, that type of stuff, the cool stuff that they see on Instagram or whatever it may be. But for a lot of people, that's just way too big of a jump. We have to have good progressions, step by step, little ladders to get people like coordinated and strong enough to handle that type of work. And this is a great progression that I learned from Johnny Hines at Monkey Bar Gym. But we've used it for years with a variety of different people, from athletes to just regular Joes coming in the gym. So let's walk through it. So first, for a lot of people, it might just be getting the hands. Can they get vertical, right? Can they get their arms back by their ears without having like a big arch or something like that? So we want to start real slow. Just a simple down dog position from yoga is a really great place for a lot of people to start, where they're just feet are still on the ground, but you're just pressing the hips back, chest back towards your shins, and getting those arms back. And just for a lot of people, just learning to get in that position and put some energy through their shoulder blades and get that full extension is a really, really good place to start. Now, once we got that good range of motion, their shoulders can handle that position, like in that down dog position. Then we can add a little bit more intensity by just simply putting our feet up on a wall or a box, and just kind of working our way up where we're like at 90 degrees. And then we can sit there and be able to put those arms back by your ears and hold that position. So it's putting the shoulders in that extended position, locked out with the arms, but a lot more energy or weight is going down through. So it's a really, really good stepping stone before we move our feet all the way up the wall. This next one, we're just going to simply put the hands spread, lock out the arms, and then extend the legs all the way up the wall and keep our body rigid and straight. Okay, so we're just simply going here, coming up, locking everything out, making sure we have good position, and then simply breathing, holding, and just getting used to being there. So we have a lot of the, almost full body weight down in through our shoulder blades and arms, but we have the wall back behind us, so we're not having to worry so much about balance. Our next step is to start learning how to, manage that load one arm at a time. So real similar to like if you've done a plank position or top of a push-up position and touch shoulder blades for like trunk stabilization. We're going to do a real similar thing here. So keeping the body real straight and rigid, right? Everything's locked in, and then simply elevating back and forth. So locked out, but it's a lot more physically demanding having to come up on one hand. There's obviously a lot more load through the trunk, the ribs, and the shoulders, but it's a really, really great drill just to really develop a lot of stability and strength in the shoulder. So this last piece of the puzzle is we're going to start actually walking our hands out away from the wall and then walking them back up while the feet come down and back up. And it's just a dynamic movement that's a great next step. So it basically looks something like this. We're going to start out locked up, walk up. When you get here, you're just in a good solid plank position, and then walking the hands back, lock up, and then walk back. So it's a lot more dynamic. We're starting to walk our hands, having to, dynamically support and stabilize and move and have the strength to do that, which is a little bit harder than most people think. Once you get proficient, you might spend 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in each one of those stages building up a good foundation of strength. Over time, we have incredible strength through the shoulder, but then also we're just taking our time, building up that strength, and then as you kick up into a normal handstand, you'd be shocked how much more comfortable you are. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully that stirs up some ideas. I'm a true believer that, we can do a lot of great things in the weight room, but we can also learn a lot from people that are outside the weight room. And gymnastics is one of those things where body weight, jumping, controlling your body in space, developing a lot of body awareness, with the ground and interaction and all that type of stuff. There's a lot of great stuff that we can pull from it. So, get out there, dig around, find some resources, and, maybe add a few things that you like into some of your workouts or training where you see fit. But hopefully that stuff helps. Guys, if you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button up above. And always, if you got questions, leave them down below, and we'll do our best to point you in the right direction.